Genesis chapter 43. The famine continued to ravage the land. When the grain they brought from Egypt was depleted, their father instructed them, "Go back and buy a little more food." Judah pleaded, "The man firmly warned us that we wouldn't see his face without our brother." He proposed, "If you send our brother with us, we'll buy food. But without our brother, we won't go," for the man insisted we must have him to see his face. Israel asked, "Why did you reveal to the man that you have another brother?" They explained, "The man questioned us about our family, asking if our father was alive and if we had a brother. We answered truthfully. How could we know he'd ask for our brother?" Judah assured his father, "Send the boy with me. We need to go, or we'll all die, us, you, and our children." He pledged, "I'll guarantee his safety. If I don't bring him back, you can hold me responsible forever." Judah reflected, "If we hadn't delayed, we could have returned by now." Israel told them, "If you must go, take the best fruits of the land in your bags, a little balm, honey, spices, myrrh, nuts, and almonds." He instructed, "Take double money in your hands, and return the money that was returned in your sacks." Perhaps it was an oversight. He directed, "Take your brother and return to the man." Israel prayed, "May God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, that he may release both your other brother and Benjamin. If I must lose my children, so be it." They brought the gifts, double money and Benjamin, then went to Egypt and stood before Joseph. Seeing Benjamin, Joseph told his steward, "Bring these men to my house. Prepare a meal, as they will dine with me at noon." The steward followed Joseph's orders and ushered the men into Joseph's house. The men were fearful upon entering Joseph's house, recalling the money that had been returned to their sacks earlier. They worried he might seize the opportunity to accuse them, enslave them, and take their donkeys. They approached the steward of Joseph's house, conversing with him at the door. They recounted, "Sir, during our first visit, we opened our sacks at the inn and found our money in full weight. We've brought it back. Furthermore, we've brought additional money to buy more grain. We don't know who returned our money to our sacks." The steward reassured, "Don't be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. I received your payment." He brought Simeon to them. The steward extended kindness. "Peace be to you. Don't worry. Your God and your father's God has blessed you. I have your money." He returned Simeon to them. The steward provided water and provisions for their journey, and they washed their feet. They prepared the gifts, as they heard they would be dining with Joseph at noon. When Joseph returned home, they presented the gifts and bowed before him. Joseph inquired about their well-being, asking, "Is your father well, the old man of whom you spoke? Is he alive?" They assured, "Your servant, our father, is in good health and still alive." They bowed their heads and paid respect. Joseph saw Benjamin, his own mother's son, and inquired, "Is this your younger brother, the one you mentioned to me?" He added, "May God be gracious to you, my son." Overwhelmed by emotions, Joseph hastened to his chamber to weep. After composing himself, he washed his face and emerged, saying, "Set the table." They were seated in separate groups, as Egyptians did not eat with Hebrews, considering it an abomination. They sat in order of birthright, and the men observed this arrangement with amazement. Joseph sent portions to them from his own table, giving Benjamin's portion 5 times more. They enjoyed the feast and drank, celebrating with him.